Hey everyone, hope you guys have been enjoying all the videos we've been doing over the past week with all the Fiji under 19 players that are from overseas. I'm joined by another very special guest here today, Peter Ravai. Peter, how are you going?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Peter is one of our overseas-based players, but he's been a part of the Fiji national team previously, so he kind of is already well known to a lot of people. But it's great to chat with someone like Peter. Peter, for those that don't know you, can you just give us a brief introduction about yourself? Where are you from? How old are you? And what was the last club that you played for?
I'm from Tailevu, Vasu Nakasiri. I play for Mason United in the UK. They're currently just been promoted to the National League from National League South. I'm a centre back, but I can play CDM.
Yeah, and you were just recently named in the final 25-man team for the under 19 tournament for the final camp. Sorry. How did you feel watching the live stream by Fiji Football when Coach Renil read your name out?
I mean, at first I was very nervous because I knew my family here in Fiji and my family in the UK were watching. But when my name got called out, I was just a big relief. All my hard works paid off, and all the support that my family have been giving me is finally paying off now.
And, as I mentioned earlier, and some people would probably know this, you were part of the men's national team that went over to Qatar earlier in the year for the 2022 World Cup qualifying campaign. Did you sort of think that you were going to already be named for this under 19 team, considering you were in the the senior men's team, or did you know you still had to work hard
Yeah,
in the camp to be picked?
yeah. I mean, when I went to first camp, some of the boys were saying, "Oh, you're already in the squad because you were in the senior team." But I said to them, "No, everyone still has to fight for the spot." And I knew if I was thinking like that, I knew it wouldn't be good because I wouldn't put my best performance out. That's why when I was in camp, I was just thinking, "Oh, there's a spot that needs to be taken, and I'm gonna take that."
Um, you and five other boys that have been picked from overseas for this camp. How pleasing is it for you? That Fiji FA are looking abroad for players, and we've seen Oliver McFadden be picked as well.
Mm,
How pleasing is it
mm.
for you to see another player from the UK be picked?
I mean, I feel like Fiji football is taking a step forward now. Looking into players overseas because I feel like if they put the best local players and players overseas together, we can only become a better team. And obviously, in the UK and overseas, we play different football. So if we can help that with the boys here and hopefully create a good bond, we can cause upset in the qualifiers, hopefully. And obviously, a fellow UK player that got picked as well. I was proud of him, but I feel like he can add like strength to our team, and yeah, we can do something crazy in the qualifiers.
And I guess, like I said previously, you've been in Fiji for, some months now this year. You've been able to
Mm,
see firsthand local players, and you also saw the overseas based players in the camp. What do you make of this,
mm.
group of 25 that's been picked for this final camp? Is it a strong team?
Yeah, I feel like in every department there's very strong players there. Um, for me, looking at the squad, like if the preparation goes well, I think we can do very well in Tahiti. But yeah, I think we can cause an upset.
And I guess, you got strong belief that the team can, do well against the likes of New Zealand and the Solomon Islands, who are traditionally,
Mm,
the biggest sort of countries at these youth tournaments in Oceania.
mm, yeah, yeah. I feel like if we stick to our game plan, and play to all our strengths, we can beat these teams. Nothing is impossible.
And you mentioned you playing as a centre back. I think
Mm,
I've spoken to him about you as well, and I think a lot of people already know him. Rafael Leai from Solomon Islands. If Fiji were to play
mm,
Solomon Islands, you'd probably come against him playing as a centre back, and he plays as a
mm,
striker. He's considered to be, the best
mm.
player in this age group. How would you feel about going up against someone like him?
Uh, Me normally when I play against strikers, I'm always careful with like where they're gonna go, how they play, how's their first touch. But I don't really look into their background. Like when I'm on the field, I'm just focused on how I play and make sure I do the simple things right. And as long as I get the simple things right, we can only improve from there.
Yeah, that's a good answer. It's certainly a battle that I'm looking forward to. And going back
Mm.
onto the last camp that we saw, we had about 46 players in that camp and, 13 boys who were
Mm.
from overseas countries. I guess you being
Yeah.
from the UK, but being based in Fiji for, quite a while, were you sort of acting as like a
Yeah.
connection between like the local players and the overseas based players?
Yeah. I mean, when the overseas players came over, I can see that they were, nervous, because obviously I've been in that situation when I first came. So I was very welcoming when they came. But yeah, I think they were very open. So, some of the local boys would go into their room and just chill. Even some of the boys will spoil them just to make them laugh or, just joke around. But no, I think everything went well between the local boys and the overseas boys.
And I guess, because you were picked in that senior men's national team for Qatar, you'd sort of, be one of the, sort of senior boys in this sort of age group as well. Have you made more of an effort to be a leader? And, does that give you a bit more pressure to perform as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know I've been with the senior team, so I know, some of the boys might look up to me because I've already made that step to the senior team. So I always make sure I'm on my best behavior, always make sure that I'm first there for dinner or, the meetings, or even ask coach if there's anything to do, I'll do it. But yeah, that's it.
And I guess, you were picked in that team for Qatar, which I'm sure would have been an amazing experience, heading over to Qatar, being just around
Mm.
that group, being part of a tournament, where you get the possibility to qualify for a World Cup. I
Yeah.
guess for you on the flip side, you didn't see any minutes on the pitch in like any of the games. So are you sort of eager to, get some minutes in the Fiji jersey in this under 19 tournament?
Yeah, of course, originally I was only meant to come for the under 19s, but when I got that call up to come for a trial with the senior team, and then when I did get selected, it was a big achievement for me to even, get into the squad or even go to Qatar. So I was over the moon with that. But obviously, I wanted to get minutes, but obviously things didn't go my way. But I'll just use it as a positive, obviously training with the boys, training with the best in Fiji, just experiencing the training with the senior team every day, just being like with and around the boys was just like amazing. But yeah, of course I want to put on that white jersey when I go to Tahiti and obviously use my experience that I got with the senior boys. Even training against Roy Krishna was just unbelievable. You can see how professional he is. Even in the gym, like the way he eats. And yeah, and yeah, I just can't wait to put on that white jersey and make my family proud.
And I think a lot of us, we also can't wait to, see you play as well. Like I've seen your highlights and
Yeah,
sort of know what you're capable of and like, how well you're
yeah,
received at your club as well. And I think a lot of people, guys are eager, a lot of fans are eager to see you play for this under 19 team. Um,
yeah,
so sort of, I guess one thing that I want to ask and one thing that probably a lot of people don't like really realize is that you've been away from your family for almost 8 months now. You like you said, you
yeah,
originally came over here last year, was a part of like an under 19 training camp group, and then sort of moved to training with the senior men's national team, and then you got that call
yeah,
up to Qatar, and you sort of stayed in
yeah.
Fiji. How's that been being away from your family and friends for the last 8 months?
I mean, it's been good, but it's been tough as well. Obviously, I came here for football. I came here to pursue my dreams and put on the jersey and play for the national team. But obviously, it's been very tough. It's first time me traveling by myself and being away from my family this long. But they've always called me every day. Continue to give me the support and love, and that only gives me the motivation to work harder and make them proud. But I always see a minor sacrifice for a bigger outcome, and hopefully it all pays off. When we go to Tahiti.
And I guess now that you're in Fiji, have you been preparing for all of these camps and keeping yourself fit over the last few months? Have you been able to train with any local Digicel Premier League teams, or is it just you doing your own training? How are you being able to keep on top of your fitness?
Yeah, I was training when I came out from guitar. I was training with Verawa first team, and obviously I've been doing my own training as well in the gym. But yeah, it's been good training with some of the national players as well who was playing with me. But yeah, I'm still keeping my fitness, going to the gym and training Verawa every now and then.
And this next camp that's scheduled to begin at the end of next week, it's going to be quite a long camp. You're looking forward to it. I've heard that, Renil's going to put you guys through a lot of work in preparation for the tournament. How much are you looking forward to that next camp?
Yeah, I'm very, very looking forward to it. I know it's going to be very tough, physically and mentally, but, like I said, I might have sacrificed for a bigger outcome, so I can't wait for it.
And can you give us some insight into the camp? Obviously it's going to be a long camp, about 8 weeks, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of double sessions and maybe even triple sessions throughout the day. But what do you guys do to sort of like unwind? When you're given free time, how do you guys bond when you're in the camp?
I mean, last camp in Suva, when we had free time, I took some of the overseas boys to Suva just to roam around and show them about, because obviously some of the boys class me as a local boy now because I've been in Fiji for a while. So yeah, we just went for like a nice walk in the seawall. And just really just team bonding, really just walking around, laughing, making jokes. But yeah, that's pretty much what we do.
And I guess this camp that's coming up, it's still kind of open, players can drop in and out. Do you have a message for any other potential players from overseas, who might, fall into this under-19 sort of age group and who are capable players like yourself? Do you have a message for those guys that if they might be like a bit on the fence about playing for Fiji because they're unsure previously, about them picking overseas players or just the quality? Any message to, any players out there who could potentially play in this under-19 team?
I mean, yeah, just keep working hard, because you never know who's watching. And plus, not every player gets to play for the national team, That could be something you can say in like many years' time that you play for a national team. But yeah, I feel like, Fiji are taking a step forward, You can see now for the under-19s, they've picked a few overseas boys. So that's a positive for overseas players who are playing in other leagues. So yeah, I feel like, if you feel like you've got the potential to play, why not put in that white jersey and, make history for your family?
I think that's a very good answer, because I know there is, still there's some, some good local players and there's also some very good overseas players. And I think, whoever can play for the team, the best players get picked. It's going to be a certain plus. And I've got big belief that this team could, do something at this tournament and make the under-20 World Cup. But yeah, just I guess, you've been in Fiji now for quite a while, as I've said. You've gone to Qatar. You've played against the other Oceania, regions. You saw Fiji play against New Zealand as well, and sort of the players that come from, New Zealand play, watch them play against Fiji. I just want to talk about your sort of like future aspirations in terms of playing. Playing in the Pacific or like Oceania region be something you consider, like, playing in New Zealand or Australia? Would you be open to, playing for any clubs over there in the future?
Yeah, of course, I wouldn't mind playing over this side, I mean, it's closer to family as well, not far from Fiji. But yeah, I mean, I would be interested if the right offer comes, for me to play in New Zealand or Australia or even overseas. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to focus on, qualifying for Tahiti, and then after we can speak about it. Hopefully, something comes through.
No worries. Well, Peter, I know it's very late over there at the moment. Thank you for joining me. But yeah, just want to wish you the best of luck for the camp that starts next week. And I've got a good feeling
Thank
that
you.
you're going to do well. And I've got a good feeling that you could be potentially one of the captains of the team or the leader. I see you as one of the boys, like I said before, one of the more experienced players. So fingers crossed for you that comes
Thank
about.
you.
And best of luck.